Hey guys, and welcome to Adventure Prone 4x4. On today's episode, just a really quick one, I'm going to be installing a voltmeter and a USB, like a USB charging port into the nav. Now, they're one unit. It's a voltmeter with two USB charging ports, so it should be nice and simple to install. I'm going to show you guys right now where I'm going to mount it in the cab. And yeah, then we'll duck in and I'll run you guys through how I'm actually going to do it. It's pretty easy. You can do it very cost effectively. A voltmeter is a good thing. This one is going to be hooked up to my auxiliary battery. My EDS tells me the voltage of my cranking battery, so I don't need to know that. But I do need one on my auxiliary battery. So it's going to be operated via a switch as well, so I can turn it on and off as I please. So here inside the cab, where I'm going to mount it, and you've got to ignore how disgustingly filthy this unit is. It's been a while since I've cleaned this unit out, but I'm going to be installing it just here. Now I'm going to do it on the passenger side so that it's not bothering me when I drive, but essentially I'll either do switch on top and voltmeter on the bottom or vice versa. But how I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to run it up through the there's a hole in the bottom of the cab where it meets the transmission. So I'm going to run the cables through that. Alright, so I think this is about the gist of what you're going to need. So what we have got the actual wiring itself, which is that stuff there. I'm using 3mm just twin core. It's nice and cheap. It's going to do what we need it to do perfectly. This here is the switch. Now this is actually a dual. You can put two accessories off this switch. I'm only going to be doing one. The reason I've chosen this switch is these switches fit perfectly in the D22 Navara slots. So I'll show you that in a second, but these work really, really well. They're the perfect size. You can get them single accessories well with a light, but I've chosen not to do that. This is my voltmeter itself. So you can see that bit there will display the voltage. And then under the cover, you've got two USB ports. Now that's connected. I've got your ground and your positive. Zip ties, of course. Corrugated split tubing. Always when you're running a wire through the engine bay, always use corrugated split tubing. Now we've also got that is just a oh no, I've lost the words. It is a fuse holder. It is a mini blade fuse holder is what that is. So I'll chop that in the middle and we'll put that in line as well. So that's just our wire stripper, and that there is our crimper, and these are just a couple of the little pieces that we're going to need. Keeping in mind as well, you will also need a couple of these if you don't have them, and that's about it. So guys, really all we need to do is hook everything up. I'm going to jump inside the cabin. We're going to start from the cabin and run it out, because it's going to be easier to go down through the transmission hole than it is to go up through the transmission hole. So let's do that now. So straight up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a flathead, and I'm just going to pry up, there's one, lovely, and that's the second one done. Awesome. So in order to remove this center console, what you need to do, and so I've just removed the dish from underneath the handbrake. I've just used like a little screwdriver to pry that up. Now there's, starting from the back, I've got a couple of screws in there. There's two holes in here, two screws in there that you'll need to remove. There's two screws in here, one hole there. There's two more screws here, one there, and up the front screw, and screw on the other side as well. And so that's how you take out the center console for these things. Okay, so I found where I'm going to be drilling my little hole, which is this one just here. You can see that's the hole I've drilled there. I'm going to widen that out to put a grommet in there, which is actually going to allow me to fit more things in here if I want long term as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the engine bay, and I'm going to start the wiring process in there, and I think I might actually wire it through from there. So I'm going to start with the inline fuse holder. Now we're going to leave the fuse out until the circuit's done, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a connector on there to attach it to the battery terminal, which will be that one. So I'm using red, so I'm just going to attach that so that I can attach that to the battery. Excellent, so that's nice and tight. So now I'm going to attach that to the positive on the twin core wiring. Right, so I've just gone through and I've soldered that one there, the red one, and I've just put some heat shrink over that too. You should always use heat shrink or electrical tape. Make sure all your connections are watertight, or your solders are watertight. So that's how I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to get my corrugated tubing, and I've taken all my wire off, and I'm going to run that through the top section of this wire, and then we'll chop that off where we need to when we get down underneath. So I've just gone through it, I've just put all my corrugated split tubing on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just hook these up to the battery. Like I said, there is no, I'll probably just, I'll zip tie them in place and not actually hook them up yet. But then I'm going to run this down underneath the car, and I'm going to cut them off where I need to. I'll poke the cables up, and then we'll cut them off where we need to. Now, just realising that I had my microphone back to front for the last couple, so apologies for that. But you can see that that's my new one. That's sitting there. I like to split them. One day soon I'll get around to doing a fuse block or something. But so that essentially runs up there, through there, and it's running down. Now I've kept it as far away from my dump pipe as possible. The less heat the better. So I am going to do the lower bit, and then I'll take you guys down and show you what I've done, as it's a little bit hard to get a camera under there and actually show you guys what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So I'll show you guys when I'm done. Right, so just going to show you guys where I've done my wiring. So it's come up through there. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's down to the dump pipe. It's stuck on, I've kept it on top of the chassis rail. Kept it going across. I really don't know how well you guys can see this. But then here, I'm going to give it this, just going to shovel everything out the way. So it runs up there. And this thing here, if I can get my hand around, yep, that's actually a heat shield. So I've run it in the groove, this groove, from down there up there, and I'm going to run that into the hole that I'm going to run it into. So let's jump up, we'll drill the hole out, and then we'll poke the wires up. Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of gotten a little bit messy in here, but I've brought the wire through. That's the grommet. I've just run it underneath because I am putting it on this side, not this side, just to keep it out of my way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a terminal connector on the negative wire, and I'm going to get that one ready for a connection as well. So I'm just going to strip the edge, the end of the wire, and put those connections on. So that didn't really go to plan. I ended up breaking the voltmeter trying to push it in. Turns out it's not quite a perfect fit like the dual accessory switch. So it is a fraction bigger. So unfortunately, I'm going to duck to Super Cheap, see if they have one. If not, I'll have to wait for an eBay part to get here. So I'm going to go do that now, check to see if they have the part, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right, so quick run to Super Cheap, and we are ready to go, I think. I'll show you guys what I've done. So what I've ended up getting is both a voltmeter and a USB socket. Unfortunately, they didn't have the one where it does both, but this is going to have to do us. I'm going to tap off of that and into this. Now, if you're just doing one switch, if you are just doing one of those, or if you're just doing one of these, it's going to be as simple as connecting up the negative to the positive, putting the console back in, and bolting it up, and you're away. But I'm going to tap into the power wire for this, which should split power off. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Alright, so that's everything back in. Now, the way that I've got it wired is I've got this running to that, and I've got this, the USB ports, tapped into the wires, the power cables for the voltmeter. So everything runs off of this switch. There we are, just like that. And so it's as easy as just making sure your wires are all out of the way, and making sure that you bolt your center console back in. Obviously I went through, put my wires in the engine bay, go through, do one quick rundown, make sure that all your wires are well and truly out of the way of any moving part, and they're all zip tied where they need to be zip tied to the chassis or in the engine bay. But otherwise, that's everything done. And that's it. It's as easy as that. So I hope that is helpful to you guys. Hope you found that interesting. Maybe something to do in quarantine or an ISO. Just a small thing, doesn't cost much. So yeah, didn't go all to plan, but like I said, it's still a relatively inexpensive thing to do. So that's everything done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Hit the little bell button so you get a notification every time I post a video. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.